6:05 this Tuesday morning. Good to have you. Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
We got an update yesterday on the shooting out in Grand Blanc. Authorities gathered at a press conference. And one of the things that, again, it's tragic, breaks your heart. The range of those that were killed or shot, the victims here, range in ages 6 to 78. So you're talking about as little as 6 years old in this case. And we haven't got a ton of information on the victims, but it was a glimpse into, again, the horror, the tragedy of this event.
Well, I know one of the victims of the shooting has been identified as 77-year-old John Bond. He was a Navy veteran who served in Vietnam, and he's the father of 6 grandchildren. He's the father of 6, grandfather of 10. Who was among 4 people who were killed by the gunman. His family says that he had planned to call his wife before the attack, and she said that in their last moments together, he was dressed up, mentioned his shoes needed shining, and said, "I love you." And the family set up a GoFundMe to assist with memorial services and support his wife.
I heard that there were heroics inside the church, that there were some doctors that just happened to be at church. And then once this started, they were running, they were pulling people out the back before the place erupted in flames. And there's just a lot of stories of humanity in that church. The police chief, Renier, yesterday was very blunt.
Evil. This was an evil act of violence. That's exactly what this was. And this is not Grand Blanc. This does not define Grand Blanc and who we are. We are a community, and I am confident that together we're going to build a stronger community due to this incident. Now, an update. This left 5 people dead, 8 people injured. As I said, this is an evil act and does not define Grand Blanc or who we are. At this time, what we know is everyone has been accounted for. We still are in the process of clearing out that church, but at this time, everyone is accounted for.
So they believe that they have all of the souls that were there, and so that's good news.
Yeah, that was one of the questions because it was after the fact, after the initial shooting, once the fire broke out, once firefighters put out the blaze, they found more people that were still in the building.
Right.
And so yesterday they confirmed that, and you heard the police chief there confirm that everybody has been accounted for at this point. Also, investigators in this investigation found 4 IEDs, improvised explosive devices, at the scene. And the investigators say that these were simple in nature, meaning they weren't complex. These were pretty, run-of-the-mill homemade explosive devices. And it's led the ATF to send in this elite specialized unit of about 100 people to investigate. They come from all over the country, and they investigate instances like this. And so this national response team is going to be assisting with this investigation. It shows you, I think it speaks a little bit to the level of this attack, how many components there were to it. You had the shooting, you had the vehicle, you had the fire. Now you have these homemade bombs that were all a part of this attack. And, I think one of the things that Daniel Roberts told us yesterday, and if you missed any of our interviews, you can go to WJR.com and check it out, but he's the former head of the FBI here in Detroit. And he said that this is not something that he just woke up with Sunday morning and decided to go do.
Yeah.
Like, there is a planning process here. There was a lot of work done before what happened at 10:30 on Sunday. And so this is all part of what they're looking into.
Yeah, according to the ATF PIO, they're determining what type of accelerant was used to ignite the fire, but preliminary investigation suggests gasoline was used. So this was a multi-level situation.
Yeah, a lot of parts here.
A 21-year-old man from Flint was arrested after reportedly driving through the barriers at the scene of the shooting at the church. And police say the incident is under investigation. It's not yet clear if it's connected to the attack on Sunday. The Grand Blanc Township Police Chief confirmed the arrest, but provided few details. ATF Special Agent James Deere warned residents to stay away from the site as investigators continue their work, noting that unauthorized entries disrupt the process and raise safety concerns. I saw a picture of this truck that this 21-year-old was driving, and they had, it was the door was open to the truck, and it was a long gun in the front seat of the truck. They didn't talk about that part, and they're not giving really a lot of information other than the fact that they have a 21-year-old in custody because he went through the barricade.
Yeah, it was a strange situation too.
It was very much so.
Yeah.
And they also said they're delving more into the suspect, that he was arrested many times in the past when it comes to sort of DUI and such. And so, we're finding out who this person was, but still don't quite have a motive. We have someone who spoke to him, campaigning, a Burton City Council person running for office, and we're going to have that person. His name's Chris Johns on at 7:49. Spoke to this person before he committed this act.
Well, one of the things that Caroline Levitt said yesterday on Fox, it was actually right about the end of our show, that this person was motivated by his disdain or hatred for the Mormon faith. And that's something that Chris Johns can kind of speak to. So we'll talk to him coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. Meanwhile, yesterday, Donald Trump held a press conference with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They have a peace deal in place. And it's something that Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed to. Well, what does this mean? A couple different things. That all the hostages, living, dead, will be returned to Israel. The war will end. Israel will release folks that they have in custody, about 250. Hamas members would be given amnesty in this case. There would be a temporary government that would be put in place. There would be a transitional team that would be put into place to help the people of Gaza. And it's an interesting deal. Now, Donald Trump trumped this up yesterday and said that this not only would bring peace to Israel and Gaza, but it would bring peace to the entire region. It would bring this wide-ranging network of all of these countries to buy into this, and it would potentially revolutionize how the Middle East interacts with Israel and vice versa. Benjamin Netanyahu's on board, but one of the things that he kind of emphasized yesterday, because Donald Trump was like, well, we're not going to take questions, and at the end, he was like, well, what do you think, Bibi? Should we take questions? And he's like, no, we shouldn't. And so they didn't. And part of that is, he said, because there's still a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah, it's still, I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed. I think this is more of a beginning than an end, because Hamas has not responded. And, you start thinking about, having to release those hostages within 72 hours. And Hamas thinking, I'm sure, that if we release these hostages, we give up our leverage, and who's going to, make sure everybody, stays right. Now, I know there's supposed to be a board over this, the peace board.
The stabilization force led by Arab states.
Yeah. So, and Trump called it the peace board. So, I don't know. It's still some devil in the details.
Yeah.
Definitely.
President Trump would chair that board of peace. Here is Netanyahu saying, I'm on board.
But if Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way, but it will be done.
And one of the things that they also emphasized, Donald Trump in particular, was that if Hamas doesn't agree to this, then Israel's got the U.S. backing to continue their operations.
Yeah.
So it's a tough situation, but it's something that's under discussion. It's on the table. Donald Trump says they're close, but Hamas still has to agree to it, certainly. 8:14, we'll take a break. More coming up next here on JR Morning.